people aren't going to instantly switch over to it. It's going to be a process. There's going to be exchange rate between the two currencies, and that's what we want in a market, is a competition in money.
There's no reason you can't have multiple cryptocurrencies that are localized based all over the world and have exchange rates between them. That's why Satoshi made Bitcoin open source, is that every line of code, every single word of code can be read, copied, and free to use to create a virtual currency. But Bitcoin has mass and mass and mass adoption. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of people that are already using it. So, like Erik said, a new one would have to be far superior for it to overtake Bitcoin and to devalue it.
Blue shirt?
So Bitcoin is essentially a math problem, and bits, it's a digital currency, so how do you prevent counterfeiting? Why can't I just string a certain string of bits together and say, hey, this is a Bitcoin, oh yeah, I trust the Bitcoin, and what's stopping the forgery problem since it's all digital?
Right, so why would you ever accept something that could just be copied and replicated by anyone, right? This was sort of the philosophical debate that people had, can you make a scarce digital good that cannot just be copied by someone? And a lot of people, of course, thought that it was impossible.
You mean like this?
Picture of that.
The way that it's done is by using a distributed database called the blockchain. And this was the brilliant sort of core innovation of Bitcoin. This central database called the blockchain is distributed on all the hundreds of thousands of nodes around the world. So in order for you to copy your Bitcoin and spend it with someone, you have to, get into everyone else's computer around the world and make the same change and convince their software to agree to that. Which I suppose is theoretically possible, but it's much more likely that the sun is going to explode or something like that. It's just very, very unlikely that an attacker would be able to do that. So as long as that database remains distributed, it's secure. And early on in the Bitcoin world, it was less secure than it is now. And next year it'll be more secure than it is now, because as it grows, it naturally builds greater and greater security.
You said you had nodes and found nodes in every part of the world. How do you know when you find a node in Singapore, say?
Okay, that's a good question. First of all, you don't know. All it means is that the node is showing an IP address from that country. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's there, but just random variance in statistical analysis, you can assume that most of the countries in the world now have nodes operating out of them, and you can see them flick on and flick off, and you can tell that it is widely organized around many countries, but at the end of the day, it's somewhat anonymous.